Happy Friday, everyone. So, forgive me for this review being a few days late, but it I'm here to tell you guys what I think about the latest release from the DC animated universe, Superman Red Son, and uh, uh, and I have to tell you guys what an interesting ride this animated outing was. So basically, guys, Superman Red Son a- answers and asks the question, what if instead of Superman's rocket landing in Smallville back in Kansas, what if instead of that it it the Superman's rocket landed in Russia back in the late 1930s. So guys, the 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 mo- the mo- the movie starts in 1946 with Superman as a child, just barely being able to start noticing that he has bizarre powers. And at, at, and at first he decides them because he doesn't want to hurt anybody. He, he, even this gang of Russian boys that 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 can that continuously pick on Superman, and a- a- and after Superman's friend, whose Russian name I'm not even going to try and say, finally pulls like a Forrest Gump type of move and scares Superman's bullies away. She is the first. She's the person that ultimately convinces Superman, whose Russian name I'm not even going to try and say either. She's the one that convinces Superman to basically hand himself over to the um to 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 the Russian dictatorship and ultimately become the Iron Curtain's greatest weapon. Well, and basically, guys, that's what this movie entails. Superman ultimately, after basically killing the previous dictator, Comrade Sterling, after Superman is shown the deplorable conditions that unfortunately real members of the Soviet Union did have to endure, including the harsh treatment of one Bruce Wayne and Superman's childhood friend dying in his arms after Superman frees them all from uh, Palestine Sterling's Russian mine, which, by the way, was Superman obviously didn't know about the true state of Russia's secret dictatorship until Lois until Lois basically steals Russia's secret file from her husband Lex. Yes, everybody. In Superman Red Son's story, Lois Lane is actually married to Lex Luthor, and then obviously, like I said, Superman ends up killing Paladin Sterling, and 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 Lex does not start off this movie in charge of America as president. His first test to see if Superman is the real deal is to actually have one of Russia's have President Dwight Eisenhower actually give Lex unauthorized permission to drop a satellite on Metropolis, which Superman does end up coming to Metropolis's aid, and it tells them, I don't blame you guys for fearing me because that's what you've been taught to believe. But basically, guys, throughout the entirety of the movie, Superman's ultimate goal is to try and achieve everlasting peace, but for the world. But in doing so, Superman becomes an even more terrifying dictator than his predecessor, Comrade Paladin Sterling, and that's the idea of the movie at its core, guys. It is basically communism versus capitalism, or basically dictatorship over democracy, and just the amount of things that this Superman is willing to do, from first of all, basically having the ideal vision of an ideal world, but doing it peacefully, but somehow not knowing that he has become an even more awful dictator than his predecessor, who basically, Protestant Sterling basically tells Superman that to protect the good of Russia's operation, sometimes necessary sacrifices have to be made. Well, the ironic thing is, Superman ends up costing people lives of his own because of how far he goes in his efforts, and unwillingly becoming an even more, at times, cruel dictator. But the ironic thing is, it is actually somewhat Lois that starts to change Superman's mind, but a large part of that is also Diana, who is basically the first ambassador that Superman allows into Russia as an ambassador, so that they can try and achieve this ideal world that they both want. And Superman, ironically enough, is the person that makes Bruce Wayne become Batman in this movie, guys, because not only because Batman was actually trapped in that secret Russian mind, along with countless others, and Batman in this movie and and I am not kidding you guys. Batman is a terrorist in this movie, or more or less a freedom fighter terrorist who is basically determined to get Superman back and destroy anybody like him, because Batman feels like Superman and people like him, basically again the 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 dictatorship versus that 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 Superman has enforced even after destroying his predecessor. Batman thinks that as long as people like that exist, Russia will never truly be able to get his find peace, as well as the rest of the world. And and as far as Lex Luthor himself, he there is no one true villain in this movie, guys. However, there is a somewhat predictable twist that I know most people, because do find a bit of a cop out, because it is actually not the classic ending that the 2003 comic book has. But before I get to that, Lex and Superman throughout the entirety of the movie almost play a pretty much a game of chess, and it is through just Superman, like, basically slowly but surely maybe starting to think that his practices of trying to achieve this perfect utopia and prove that America is a danger to Russia start to change. It it, it and let me tell you guys again, Superman goes to great lengths. I mean him he and Diana still do save plenty of people, but in doing so, because of all the extreme measures that Superman goes to, even mind controlling one individual who goes unnamed throughout the entirety of the movie. And yes, guys, Superman, for lack of a better word, makes Batman blow himself up after their very brief showdown. The Green Lantern Corps is basically reduced to to basically the military in this movie. However, we do get the return of John Stewart himself, voiced by the legendary voiced by his original actor Phil LaMarr. So it was great to see John back. I just wish that the Green Lantern Corps got as much time as Wonder Woman, but Bizarro, who Superman ends up seeing disintegrate, and again, all these things slowly start to change his mind, but even eventually, Diana, after being aged by her imprisonment from Batman. Basically says, Superman, Superman, I'm done. My mother was right. Men are all the same because all you want to do is fight, fight, fight. And after one last try to get Superman and the Lantern Corps to stop fighting, Diana basically gives up and says, Superman, I'm done. We're never going to see each other again. And to think, I actually want to consider you my friend. Goodbye. And basically, guys, it turns out that Brainiac was actually just using Superman to basically have the entire world in very much Cold War times in his hands. So again, in a very cop-out kind of way, Superman finds out that Brainiac has in fact just been using him to basically have Russia and Brainiac almost succeeds in getting Superman to go full on war with Lex. But obviously, as we all know, Superman, thanks to a little help from Lois, Lois finally drills into Superman's head. Why didn't you try and restore this city that Brainiac constituted into basically another specimen? And then that is when Brainiac's true motives are revealed. And basically, guys, the movie ends with Lex stepping down as president of and it is thought that Superman sacrifices himself to blow up with Brainiac's ship. But Lois does end up seeing Superman in the crowd at President Luthor's farewell speech, and that's the end of the movie, guys. So again, kind of a we should have seen it coming ending, but I still pretty much did enjoy Superman Red Son. I hope you guys did too, and have a great day.